Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue brewing between the Lansing Davis and Corinthos Davis sisters that could permanently fracture their relationship. The drama unfolding on General Hospital has viewers on the edge of their seats as family bonds are tested to their breaking point. The potential fallout. The sisterly relationship between Molly Lansing Davis and Kristina Corinthos Davis stands at a precipice. After all they've endured, including the recent healing following their deceased baby drama, their fragile reconciliation may shatter completely when the truth emerges. The devastating words, "You're not my sister anymore," might soon escape Molly's lips, effectively severing their sisterly bond in an irreparable way. This potential disowning wouldn't come without justification. The layers of deception Kristina has woven while pretending to be supportive could push Molly beyond her capacity for forgiveness. Family ties in Port Charles have survived numerous challenges, but this betrayal cuts exceptionally deep, potentially creating a rift that even time cannot heal. A web of deception. Kristina's duplicitous behavior extends far beyond a single mistake. While presenting herself as Molly's rock during this crisis, she's simultaneously hiding her culpability in the very situation causing Molly's distress. The contrast between her public persona and private guilt creates a dramatic tension that viewers find both compelling and disturbing. Her performance in the hospital chapel exemplifies this duality. When Molly and Alexis Davis walked in on Kristina's prayer, which was actually an expression of guilt and fear about her own actions, they misinterpreted it as sisterly concern. Molly's tearful embrace of Kristina, believing her sister was praying for Rick's recovery, adds another painful layer to the deception that will eventually come to light. The fabricated alibi about inventory work in the stockroom further compounds Kristina's dishonesty. These calculated falsehoods weren't impulsive reactions but deliberate choices to conceal her responsibility, making her eventual exposure all the more devastating for those who trusted her. The sabotage gone wrong. What makes this situation particularly volatile is the nature of Kristina's original transgression. Her attempt to sabotage Ava Jerome's vehicle represented a premeditated act of violence that went horribly awry. The mistaken targeting of Rick Lansing's car instead of Ava's was not merely bad luck but the consequence of reckless behavior with potentially fatal outcomes. Rick's subsequent crash and hospitalization weren't simply unfortunate accidents but direct results of Kristina's actions. The severity of tampering with vehicle brakes cannot be understated. It demonstrates a willingness to endanger lives that goes beyond typical soap opera conflicts. That the victim was her sister's father adds a particularly painful dimension to the betrayal. The technical aspects of brake sabotage require deliberate effort and knowledge, suggesting Kristina's actions weren't merely impulsive but calculated. This premeditation will likely factor into how others judge her when the truth emerges, especially given the potential fatal consequences had circumstances been slightly different. The path to exposure. As with all secrets in Port Charles, Kristina's involvement in the brake sabotage seems destined for exposure. The evidence trail, witness possibilities, and her own guilty behavior create multiple avenues for discovery. Each passing day increases the likelihood that some overlooked detail will connect her to the crime. Port Charles has a long history of buried truths resurfacing at the most dramatic moments. Whether through forensic evidence, an unexpected witness, or Kristina's own conscience, the revelation seems inevitable. The only question remaining is who will discover the truth first and how they'll choose to use that information. The psychological pressure of maintaining such a significant deception is already showing in Kristina's behavior. Her prayer in the chapel reveals the internal conflict between self-preservation and genuine remorse. This internal struggle could ultimately lead to a confession or a revealing slip that exposes her role in the accident. The sisterly bond at stake. What makes this storyline particularly poignant is the recently repaired relationship between the sisters. After navigating the emotional minefield of their previous conflict over the deceased baby situation, they had finally reached a place of mutual understanding and support. This hard-won reconciliation now stands to be completely undone. The sisters share a complex history of both conflict and solidarity. Their different mothers and upbringings created natural friction, yet they've repeatedly demonstrated the ability to overcome differences for the sake of their sisterly bond. This history makes the potential permanent rupture all the more heartbreaking for longtime viewers who have witnessed their relationship evolve over years. Molly's character has consistently valued honesty and integrity, making Kristina's deception particularly offensive to her core values. Beyond the harm to her father, it's the betrayal of trust that may prove unforgivable. The combination of endangering Rick's life and then exploiting Molly's vulnerability afterward creates a perfect storm for permanent estrangement. Broader implications. This conflict extends beyond just the two sisters. Alexis Davis, mother to both women, will inevitably be caught in the middle of this family fracture. Her response to Kristina's actions could either help heal the rift or deepen it further, depending on how she balances maternal love with moral judgment. The ripple effects will likely touch other Port Charles residents as well. Ava Jerome, the intended target of the sabotage, will have her own response when she discovers how narrowly she avoided being the victim. This revelation could ignite a separate feud that further complicates the already tangled relationships in town. The legal ramifications cannot be ignored either. Brake tampering constitutes a serious criminal offense that could result in charges against Kristina. The potential for legal consequences adds another dimension to the drama, potentially forcing family members to choose between loyalty and justice. As General Hospital continues to explore this compelling storyline, viewers can expect emotional confrontations, unexpected alliances, and perhaps even opportunities for redemption. The path forward remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the relationship between Molly and Kristina will never be the same again. Next, we will learn about the intriguing developments between Jason Morgan and Sasha Gilmore Corbin that could potentially lead to matrimony. The complex web of relationships in Port Charles continues to evolve in unexpected ways, creating dramatic tensions that keep viewers on the edge of their seats. The possibility of unexpected romance. What initially began as a scheme to protect Michael Corinthos might be evolving into something more profound between Jason and Sasha. Their interactions, initially built on deception, have shown glimpses of genuine connection that viewers can't help but notice. The chemistry between these two characters has been subtly building, with meaningful glances and supportive moments that hint at deeper emotions developing beneath the surface. Jason Morgan, known for his stoic demeanor and unwavering loyalty, has rarely allowed himself to form romantic attachments since his tumultuous relationship with Sam McCall. His willingness to engage in this elaborate charade with Sasha demonstrates not only his dedication to Michael but perhaps an unconscious desire to create a family unit of his own. The enforcer's softer side emerges when he reassures Sasha about their arrangement, showing a tenderness that's rarely seen in his typically guarded personality. Sasha, meanwhile, has endured numerous hardships throughout her time in Port Charles. From her days as a fake daughter to her struggles with addiction, she's fought to rebuild her life and find stability. This partnership with Jason, though founded on deception, offers her a sense of security and support that has been lacking in her life. Her gratitude toward Jason for his protection could easily transform into deeper affection as they navigate this complicated situation together. The elaborate deception unfolds. The intricate plan to conceal Michael's paternity has reached new levels of complexity. Jason has committed to having his name recorded on both the birth certificate and medical documentation, effectively claiming legal paternity of Sasha's unborn child. This bold move demonstrates the lengths to which Jason will go to protect those he considers family, particularly Michael, whom he has guided since childhood. When discussing the legalities of their arrangement, Jason displayed his characteristic dark humor by mentioning that falsifying documents would hardly be the worst offense on his lengthy criminal record. This moment of levity helped ease Sasha's concerns while highlighting the moral ambiguity that has always defined Jason's character. His criminal background, ironically, makes him uniquely qualified to navigate this ethically questionable situation with the pragmatism it requires. The medical staff at General Hospital remains unaware of the deception, accepting Jason's claim of paternity without question. Dr. Britt Westbourne, who has been overseeing Sasha's prenatal care, has noticed the unusual dynamic between the supposed couple but has maintained professional discretion. The hospital's electronic records now officially list Jason Morgan as the father, creating a digital paper trail that would be difficult to dispute in any future legal proceedings. Willow's growing suspicions. As Willow Corinthos adjusts to her new living arrangement with Drew Kane, subtle doubts have begun to surface regarding the timeline of events. The emotional turmoil following her discovery of Michael's infidelity initially prevented her from examining the situation logically, but as the shock subsides, inconsistencies are becoming apparent. Her intuition, which has served her well in the past, suggests that something about Sasha's pregnancy narrative doesn't align with the facts. Willow's relationship with Drew has provided her with emotional support during this difficult period, but it has also complicated matters considerably. Moving Michael's children into Drew's home has raised eyebrows throughout Port Charles, potentially weakening her position in any future custody dispute. This vulnerability makes her increasingly determined to uncover the complete truth about Michael's betrayal and the circumstances surrounding Sasha's pregnancy. The hospital grapevine, always active in Port Charles, has begun to carry whispers about Jason's sudden involvement in Sasha's life. Nurses and orderlies have noted the timing of his appearance at prenatal appointments, and these observations could eventually reach Willow's ears. Each piece of information, however insignificant it might seem in isolation, brings her one step closer to questioning the paternity claim. The custody battle looms. The specter of a custody battle for Wiley and Amelia Corinthos hangs over everyone involved in this deception. Michael's current condition, recovering in the burn unit after a heroic rescue attempt, has temporarily postponed any legal proceedings, but the situation remains precarious. His physical recovery will eventually allow him to actively participate in the parenting of his children, potentially triggering Willow to pursue formal custody arrangements. Family court in Port Charles has historically favored stability and moral character when determining custody arrangements. Willow's attorneys would likely emphasize Michael's infidelity as evidence of moral failing, while Michael's legal team would highlight Willow's hasty relocation of the children to Drew's residence as potentially destabilizing. The introduction of Sasha's baby, if proven to be Michael's, would further complicate the court's assessment of the situation. Diane Miller, Port Charles's premier attorney, has already been consulted regarding the potential legal ramifications of the current arrangement. Her assessment indicates that while Jason's claim of paternity provides temporary protection, it would not withstand intensive legal scrutiny if challenged directly. DNA testing, which could be ordered by the court, would immediately expose the deception and potentially damage Michael's custody case beyond repair. Marriage as the ultimate cover. As pressure mounts and Willow's suspicions grow, Jason and Sasha may determine that marriage represents the most convincing way to solidify their cover story. A legal union would create additional layers of legitimacy to their claim of being the baby's parents, making it more difficult for outsiders to question their relationship. The ceremony would likely be small and private, perhaps with only Sonny Corinthos and Carly Spencer as witnesses to maintain the secret. Planning a wedding, even one based on deception, would inevitably create opportunities for Jason and Sasha to develop a deeper connection. Selecting rings, discussing vows, and preparing for a life together, even one founded on pretense, would foster intimate conversations and shared experiences. These moments could gradually transform their arrangement from a strategic alliance into something resembling a genuine relationship. The psychological impact of maintaining such an elaborate charade should not be underestimated. Living together as husband and wife, raising a child together, and presenting themselves as a family to the world would blur the lines between performance and reality. The human heart, as General Hospital has demonstrated countless times, often develops attachments in the most unexpected circumstances. What begins as protection for Michael could evolve into a love story neither Jason nor Sasha anticipated. Unexpected genuine feelings. The most intriguing possibility in this scenario is that genuine romantic feelings might develop between Jason and Sasha as they navigate this complicated situation together. Their shared secret would create an intense bond, and their mutual dedication to protecting Michael would demonstrate to each other their capacity for loyalty and sacrifice, qualities both characters deeply value. Jason's protective nature would find a natural outlet in caring for Sasha during her pregnancy. His attentiveness to her needs, his concern for her well-being, and his steadfast presence would provide Sasha with a sense of security she has rarely experienced. For a woman who has endured abandonment and betrayal, Jason's reliability would be profoundly appealing. Sasha's resilience and determination would earn Jason's respect, while her warmth and emotional openness might help him access feelings he typically keeps tightly controlled. Her ability to find joy despite difficult circumstances could bring a lightness to Jason's often somber existence. Together, they might discover that their pretend relationship offers emotional fulfillment neither expected to find. As the baby's birth approaches, the lines between their fabricated story and their authentic emotions could become increasingly blurred. What began as a strategic alliance to protect Michael might transform into a family unit bonded by genuine affection. The ultimate irony would be that in attempting to preserve Michael's family, Jason and Sasha might inadvertently create one of their own.